X is quite possibly the biggest artist to ever come out of SoundCloud. With music from sad mellow tunes to energetic rage music, he shaped a lot of our taste in music and has greatly opened people's music options. Outside the reign of rap, I've been an X fan since way back in 2016. I was a freshman in high school just scrolling on YouTube, and I came across a little song called Space Ghost Pussy, which he was a feature on with another artist I just started to listen to, Denzel Curry. When X's verse came on, I felt this wave come over me, boy, and as many people described that at the time, it makes you want to go around your school and just punch everybody in the face. And from there, I went down a giant rabbit hole of a lot of his tracks. Sipping Tea in Your Hood, Young Brats, In This Bitch Lit, and my favorite to this day, R.I.P. Roach. I followed his music even when it was some songs that I didn't necessarily vibe with because I was a fan of his rage music. Not gonna lie to y'all boys, till unfortunately he passed away in 2018. Shit that made me distraught like nothing else in this world. And it's not because I'm just a fan. The shit gonna sound crazy, but it was through his death I saw just how short and how quick this shit can be taken from you in the blink of an eye. Especially with him being only 3 years older than me at the time. Shit fucked up my whole outlook on life, I'm not gonna lie to you. But this video ain't about that. This video is about what happened after X passed. And this shit is a shame. Now, it's a terrible thing we do as people when a celebrity passes is we quickly mourn the loss of the celebrity, but then immediately ask about whatever projects they had in the works releasing. Don't like you ain't do that shit too, nigga. I see you shaking your head no. Yes, you did, nigga. And with all the nagging my fans, X's Camp finally came out and said we'll be releasing all of his music accordingly. So we all patiently sat and waited. So 6 months after he passed, we got his third album that was allegedly already done, Skins. Now, for all intents and purposes, it is said that by design, he made this album short, and it is short. But if this was the final ready-to-release product and not altered by X's Camp whatsoever, I'd be surprised. The song selection on this album doesn't really have any cohesion or structure. It doesn't feel like this album was made or put together, I should say, with an ear of what makes the most sense to put on an album. That becomes apparent when we go over to Bad Vibes Forever later on. You could argue that this album was supposed to be an amalgamation of X's biggest genres that he tapped into. But even then, just because I understand the reasoning doesn't make the execution good. At the time, I decided to block out all the hate people were saying because he is my favorite artist. But now I accept the album for what it is, which is a very misdirected album. Not saying it's bad, but it doesn't have any direction and the song selection shows. Now it's 2019. We get the announcement of Bad Vibes Forever. Album that was said to be everything he had all thrown to a single album. The last hurrah from the X team. And what we got was definitely one of the albums of all time. I'll never forget where I was when I was listening to this album. I was on my way to a final for school, and I listened to it for the 45-minute drive I had in front of me. And I couldn't believe my own mind when I didn't instantly like any of the songs on this project. I had to question who the fuck I was. Prior to this album coming out, they dropped a single called Bad Vibes Forever, which I did like. And little did I know that this was essentially a preview of the whole album. A loose X vocal or verse carried by features. It's not just a few tracks, it's really the whole fucking album. If there's a feature by his name, just abandon all hope, because essentially it is that person's song. During the rollout of this album, everyone came together saying how they loved him and respected him. Newsflash, if your name is attached to this shit, you did not respect that nigga, bruh. Sorry. Never have I heard such a skeleton of work come from an artist. Now, I'm not attacking X himself, but I am attacking his camp. How could y'all have possibly tarnished the image he worked so hard for with one body of work? I can't even call it a body because it don't got no substance, bro. It's a shell. The shell of work. Every song's a throwaway of some sort, along with voice memos with everyone and their mama hopping on for a feature. There are even lost SoundCloud songs that they tried to repurpose as new releases, like Ecstasy and Demons, being songs from his early post and delete days that he used to do on SoundCloud. He used to drop a track, didn't really like it, I guess, and then he would fucking delete it or some shit. This is when I realized just how bad and weird people were, even if you call them their quote-unquote friends. Because some of his friends didn't hop on this album like Curry and Ski Mask. Now, you could also say these niggas can get it on their own and don't need to ride off a dead nigga coattails, but you can also say that they have more respect for him, seeing how this album was turning out. This is the ultimate throw that at the wall and see what sticks ass album. Because I think some of the songs would very much fit Skins more, like Triumph and Wanna Grow Old. But no, let's just put them all on this album. Rack up the audience appeal. Y'all fucked it. But it only gets worse. Because then it's revealed that there's leftover voice memos and unfinished verses being sold to these fucking nobodies who can't get a career going for it on their own. Members Only Volume 4. Voices by Sky, whoever the fuck that is. Ready, Set, Go by Young Bands, which was literally a fucking voice message, by the way. I ain't forget that bullshit, fuck nigga. That was disgusting. And countless other lost verses and voice memos that they tried turning into full songs, like Don't Cry with Lil Wayne, Selfish and True Love with Kanye, and I'm Not a Human with Lil Uzi, which I'm not gonna lie, I like all these, I'm not gonna lie to you. Look, I think it's sad and nothing short of disappointing that this is the reality of the situation, especially with him being my favorite artist. I just think if they were putting more thought into some of these projects, they could have retired X's jersey pretty gracefully and a little bit of class that he earned through all of his hard work and not leave us with this bitter feeling every time we think of his music post-death.